Hey friends, welcome back. In this session, I'd like to discuss about the concept called JSON logger and why this JSON logger is required. And we will see the demonstration of JSON logger also. So the requirement of JSON logger is usually in a project, we want to introduce some standard logging practices. So some of the developers in the project may log the statements in a more structured manner. They log the correlation IDs, they log some transaction information, they log the timestamps. The logs are very structured, and we can't expect the same kind of logging practices from the entire team. Some developers may ignore the logging; they won't log information properly. So there is no standard way to enforce the logging practices among the developers. So using JSON logger, we can frame a logging structure, and logging structure will be same across all the developers, right? With minimal logging effort. So to get this kind of facility, we can use JSON logger. So JSON logger is developed by Andres Ramirez, and you can see this blog, wonderful blog. You can get it on the Google. So it contains entire information about the JSON logger. And the reason why JSON is used for logging. So JSON is an excellent data definition format. So most of our software platforms, either Java, .NET, whatever, all the platforms have parsers to understand the JSON. They can able to easily parse and understand the JSON structure, and humans also easily understand the JSON, right? Then why can't we structure or log information in JSON? Therefore, it is quite useful, right, for a human to analyze and information to parse also. So that is the idea to develop the JSON logger, and we have the logger component, out of box logger component in the Mule, but that won't enforce any kind of standard practices. If a developer explicitly logs, then it will available in the log. If a developer miss the log, the information is not available in the log, right? So the out of box that one is not capable of standard practices. Therefore, we come up with the JSON logger, right? So let's see how we can configure the JSON logger, and these are the steps for JSON logger. uh, Thing is, we need to go to the repository. So here you can go to the repository. Here you can find the JSON logger code, JSON logger git URL. So the primary prerequisite is you need to install the git bash in your machine. So what I'm doing is I'm going to my one of the folder, on a drive. I'm creating one folder, naming as JSON logger. Just I can give JSON logger. And in this folder, I am cloning the Git repository of Ramaries. So for that, I am opening my Git bash and copying these. I'm going to this Git repository and getting the JSON logger code base from here URL. Now in the Git bash, clone, and I'm moving to this JSON logger folder. All right. So now let me go to the folder where I extracted, where I cloned the JSON logger. This is the JSON logger folder. If I go inside this JSON logger folder, you can find the template-files folder. Here, you can find the settings.xml file. Let me open the settings.xml file. And you need to configure your Anypoint platform credentials in the servers list over here. Anypoint platforms credentials to get to the exchange, right? So that you can publish the JSON logger component to exchange. For that, I'm configuring my Anypoint platform credentials, and I will configure this password little later. Then what you need to do is to copy this structure and go to your local repository, maven local repository, M2 folder. You can find these settings.xml over here, and I want to copy the servers. Okay. Let me configure the password. I will come back again. Yeah, I configured the passwords in the server's snippets, XML snippet. And next thing is you need to go to the folder where we extracted the where you cloned the JSON logger. I cloned in my E drive JSON logger in the JSON logger folder. Here you can find the JSON logger folder over here. This is your application, JSON logger application, and go to your pom.xml file. You need to configure the organization ID. Let me go to the my Anypoint organization ID. Go to your access management in Anypoint platform. So copy the organization ID and place the organization ID over here. Okay. Next is you need to run the script to download the JSON logger component to our Anypoint platform exchange. So here in the JSON logger folder, there is a script is deployed to exchange. So we need to run the script by passing our Anypoint platform organization ID. So again, I'm going to git bash. So this is the script I need to execute. Dot slash, I copy the script, and I need to provide my organization ID just before I yeah, this is organization ID, right? So it will take some time to deploy the organization ID, sorry, to download the JSON logger component to our exchange. Meanwhile, I will pause the session for a moment. Yeah, welcome back. So now this build executed successfully. Now let me see the exchange component. Cancel. Let me log to exchange. You should see the logger JSON logger in the exchange, right? Now we can use this JSON logger in our MuleSoft applications. We configure the JSON logger, and I can show you the how to configure the JSON logger and what kind of logs it generate, and we can route the JSON logs to Splunk also in the next session. Thank you.